Ooh.
Who wants to be a millionaire?
I have a quiz. I have a quiz for everyone tonight to take part. Everyone can. Everyone's on the same side,
Hey.
so it's all against the questions. I have prepared Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, the shuffle version.
Excellent.
This is very much like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, but I dropped the questions and put them in a random order.
Uh-oh.
Oh my god.
So the way it's going to work is I've got a stack of questions from. This is from The Independent. The Independent did a Who Wants to Be a Millionaire quiz a couple of months ago in one of their quiz specials. Excuse me. And I've got 3 of their sets. I've taken 2 of them, and I've shuffled. I've taken 1 of them individually. I have shuffled it, and basically you've got 4 lifelines, all the usuals, to try and get as far as possible. I'm going to go through the questions one by one, and basically, it's going to be a lot harder than normal Millionaire for you because you've got the harder questions potentially first. You know. So good luck. I'm expecting a low score, but once you crash out, we'll then go through all the questions, and then there will be an additional game. Can you match the question to its value?
Ooh.
So I'm not going to tell you what each question is worth when we go through it initially. So let's. Asking the host, that'll be me. I've got the answers in front of me. Pretty sure you'll do well. 50-50 will work. Ask the audience. You get to look at YouTube. And phone a friend. Well, that can be me again. Okay, so here is question number 1. I'm not going to tell you
that you've had no comments on YouTube yet. I think everyone's watching it. If you are watching,
No.
hello.
No, nothing yet.
Right.
So I'm not going to tell you the value, but here's the question. The annual half marathon, the Great North Run, starts in which UK city? Is it Newcastle, Sheffield, Liverpool, or Leeds?
I am pretty sure that's Newcastle.
I was thinking Leeds, yeah.
Hi, Jason Cook. Sorry.
I was thinking
Post message
Newcastle.
on Discord. I can't see messages on Discord, so I'm streaming. So, yes, I think it's Newcastle, but what else thinks?
Want me to take Newcastle?
Yes.
Okay, that's your final answer. Goes orange.
Do.
No sound effects. There we go. I was going to just say, but we know someone who's good at sound
There
effects.
you go.
The correct answer is Newcastle.
Hey.
It's the first question.
That-
Is that dumb?
Yeah, indeed. But was it worth £100?
Sound somewhere, but can't do both at the same time.
Question number 2 for £200. In mythology, which creature sprang from the blood of Medusa? Pegasus, Griffin, Hydra, or Centaur?
I mean, Hydra would be my
I
guess.
think Hydra makes the most sense if because of the snake thing. But
While that's true, I don't expect mythology to make
No, it's
sense.
true.
Yeah. I was thinking Pegasus, but that's kind of like a hunch, not really
I
anything.
thought Pegasus as well, and I'm not sure why.
You'll walk away, Dan.
Unless Pegasus was involved in
With £1 million, certainly.
possibly Pegasus was used as part of killing Medusa, but I'm not.
I just think
certain.
surely Pegasus
Was
is
it Perseus?
Pegasus is a force for good, surely, and Medusa's a force for bad.
Yes.
but does killing the bad force release the good force?
Wow,
Yeah, that's true. I don't know.
that's a good question. I mean, you seem pretty sure it's Pegasus, so I mean,
I'm not going to go as far as to say
Matt
sure.
is extremely sure it's Pegasus, so I'm very tempted to go along with him if no one else is very excited. I mean, Hydra makes most sense to me, but it could be a very, very high value question.
No, I do suspect Pegasus was one of the things used to kill Medusa. Something about approaching her from the air with a spear and a shield. But I'm absolutely not certain in any way. So ignore me.
Right.
Okay.
I mean, I need to use a
Can you
lifeline.
use lifeline? It's a big question.
If pushed, I would go Hydra, but yeah.
Shall we ask for host?
Let's. Okay, spotlight on me. Before I worked this question up.
Go on, do it.
I'm slightly worried by that sound. Just so worried. I would have said that it was either Pegasus or Centaur before working this up. But now that I've worked it up, I'd be pretty sure it's Pegasus, really, because that's the correct answer.
I don't know. Dan didn't seem very sure.
Boom.
It is indeed.
Yeah, let's go with Pegasus.
There's someone
Sorry
at your
for the
door,
help
Nick.
now.
It's not mine.
Oh. It wasn't my sound effect. That's quite interesting.
Fun.
Okay, question number 3 for
Oh, it's
Japan.
Pegasus. Good stuff.
Since
Dumb.
it was Pegasus. Yeah.
Well done,
Since 2011, Brendan O'Carroll, not Brandon, as I've mistyped, has played the title character in what sitcom? Mrs. Brown's Boys, Mrs. Brown's Babes,
Oh.
Mrs. Brown's Baboons, or Mrs. Brown's Bust-Ups?
I think it's Anne.
Mrs. Brown's
Hey.
voice. Final answer.
Bing, straight in, yeah.
Ding.
For 500, the national flag of which of these countries does not feature 3 horizontal stripes? Russia, Romania, Hungary, or Germany?
Romania.
It's
Pretty sure.
Stripes, isn't it?
All right, Romania.
Take that. It is correct. Romania
Yay.
is. And question 5 for 1,000. In Hokusai's print, The Great Wave, which mountain is depicted in the background? Mount Imai, Mount Kailash, Mount Fuji, Mount Sinai.
If it's the painting, I think it is. It's Fuji.
My
but I'm
gut
not
said
sure it's
Fuji
necessarily
pretty
right.
much before the answers came up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we go for Fuji?
Or where's Mount Ma?
I don't know. I
Yeah.
can't picture it.
Isn't this
I
also
don't know where some of these are.
Oh,
Well,
Sinai
Sinai is
isn't.
not in Japan.
That's
And
that's an
Kailash
easy-
doesn't sound like very Japanese to me either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think we'll go for Fuji then.
Final answer?
Yep.
Who is that? That's amazing.
I brought out my ukulele.
Amazing.
I can tell you that I don't know where Mount Kailash is or where Mount Emi is. But you're right, they don't sound Japanese. It is neither of those, and it's not Mount Sinai. It is indeed Mount Fuji.
Hey.
You have £1,000.
Actually,
is
sorry,
amazing.
Thomas, but it's for big sting because £1,000. It's da 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 da.
No, I can't do that.
No,
No,
can-
that's not
Can you
happening.
at least do a bit?
Oh
Mount
dear.
Emi and Mount Kailash are both in China, it turns out. So there we go. For £2,000, you get a lot. Would you like to set your safety net at 2,000?
No.
Okay, no safety net. Here's your question. According to Robert Burns, which food is the great chieftain o' the pudding race? Tea cake, haggis, bacon roll, sticky toffee pudding.
Haggis.
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 Guess that as well.
I expected James to pop up there.
Final answer.
Final
It's
answer.
haggis. Ding.
Hey.
Safety net at 4,000.
No.
Okay. Which of these men was the first to win 2
Yes.
Academy Awards for Best Director? I've already said no. Steven Spielberg, Clint Eastwood, Oliver Stone, or Francis Ford Coppola?
Oh, brilliant.
Spielberg did not get a Best Director Oscar for a while.
Uh,
I think not until Schindler.
if I was to guess, it'd be C or D.
Mm.
Should we use a lifeline?
You can bait.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give you basically. I'll give you 2 Ask the Hosts and 2 50-50s. That's going to be the easiest thing here. So you've used one of your Ask the Hosts.
I'm trying to think what Clint Eastwood would have got Oscars for. I think possibly for Unforgiven. I don't think he's got any others.
Flags of My Fathers, maybe.
Doesn't ring a bell as an Oscar winner, a Best Director Oscar winner. Could be wrong.
I suggest asking the host. I mean, it's one of the harder questions, so I think it'd be worthwhile.
In that case, I would strongly recommend going for C. Oliver Stone, who did his work slightly before the other three.
I think we'll go for C.
we should go C then.
Okay.
I think that sounds like a good idea.
And it is indeed the best idea you've had all night.
This is a good host. He used to know a lot of things.
I'm good at research.
How long have
We'll
you
pick
played
this up
ukulele
when we
for, Tantasan? I'm intrigued now.
Too long.
Good stuff.
On and off for a little under a year.
Excellent.
Cool.
Ukulele, ikulele, we all kalele.
Yay.
We will continue this after the break.
After we're back with the bin collecting.
Probably at some point they've got to go back outside again.
Yep.
Well, they've got two
So for those of
useful
you-
acts they can use for that, I suppose.
For those of you who have just joined, we're playing Who Wants to Be a Millionaire Shuffle Edition. It's exactly the same as normal Millionaire, but I've shuffled the questions, so it's going to be harder. You don't know what the values of them are. You've just got to play the stack in their random order. And then once we've gone through all the questions, you get to play the game of can you work out which question was which value. But at the moment, this is question 8 for £8,000, so we're about halfway through the stack. And here's your next question. You've got 2 lifelines left, both 50-50. If you want to use them on the same question, I will I will work it out. Anyway, the word batrachian describes which animals? Monkeys and apes, rats and mice, frogs and toads, hares and rabbits.
Well, I thought it was camels, so
Buddy,
I thought it was camels as
so
well.
it's not that.
From
that's
Bactria.
That's Bactrian, yeah. Is this for everybody?
Yeah.
This is for everyone working as a team.
Yeah. Well, rats and mice would be rodents, wouldn't it? Frogs and toads would be like herpetian or something like that, I imagine. Monkeys and apes would be what,
Simian.
primate. Hares and rabbits, I don't know.
I think they're like Lepatriae or whatever.
Yeah. So it's none of them, Dan. That's our final answer.
Okay, fine. Yep. I'm afraid no.
That's the £0 question.
Tantasar has a ukulele for David's benefit.
Can we go 50-50?
Would you like to go 50-50?
Might as well.
Well, can he put it back in his trousers?
I think we might as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, we might need it for this one. Yeah.
Okay. So, computer's now going to delete 2 of the answers, and they are.
All of them.
Hey, I was right. It's one of them.
Yeah, that's a fun thing that I've discovered. Anyway, it's either rats and mice or frogs and toads.
I just can't even work out
Yeah.
what Bactria.
Unlike frogs and toads, amphibians.
Well, yeah, but rats and mice are rodents. So I'm guessing it's a subclass within those. Either way.
My gut.
No. I think it means it's like an ability that they have. So, for example,
Oh right.
if it's like if they have the ability to be on land and water, you might call that batration. I'm not sure what ability rats and mice particularly have, other than having long teeth, maybe. I would sidle with frogs and toads, but only very slightly.
Because
have
they're
another-
inherently more interesting.
You do have another 50-50. If you want to use it, I will remove one more incorrect answer. But it is your last lifeline.
Yeah.
Do we think we've got through all the really nasty questions at this stage?
I think we got through most of them. I reckon at least 2 or 3 of the top tier have come up already. I think this is one of them.
Which question is this in
twice.
terms?
This is question 8 for 8,000.
Right. So we're halfway through.
Yeah.
So we'd expect to have had 2 or 3 of the top.
And what happens if we get it wrong?
Then you go away with £1,000, and then we'll continue anyway.
Yeah, I would be tempted to maybe use the other 50-50 then, because we really don't have a clue.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, we'll have to do that then.
Okay, using your last 50-50. Okay, everything's going to disappear off the screen again, but doop, frogs and toads is your last
it's
one.
C
What's
then.
your final answer?
We asked the
Yeah,
audience,
frogs and
please.
toads, from the Greek meaning of frog. If you're batrachophobic, you have an aversion to frogs and toads and newts. Would you like to set your safety net at 16,000?
Yeah, might as well.
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
You've got no
Safety
life
net's
left.
at 60,000. Here's your next question. Which of these is the title of a famous artwork by Tracy Emin? Our settee, your bench, her desk, my
My
bed.
bed.
My bed.
Her bed.
Yeah,
Oh, isn't
that
that
is
actually called,
correct.
boyfriends I've had or something like that?
Everyone I've ever slept with or something like that. It was the...
I'll let
something
you know
like
that my bed's very tidy. And also,
And where is
yeah, anyway.
where is it now? The artwork.
Oh, no idea.
It's in ashes because it set fire when the art gallery burnt down.
Oh,
The starchy one?
The Saatchi gallery had like or the storage depot of it. It burned down, and that was one of the things that went with it.
There you go.
I think she's recreated it since, but the original's gone.
So,
When you say
so which of
recreated
these
it, give
was
us
the title?
So £16,000 is guaranteed. Well done. Here's question 10 for 32. What is the name of the character played by Daisy Ridley in Star Wars Rise of the Skywalker? Doe, Rey, Lee, R.
B.
Ray.
It is indeed Rey. That is correct.
Hey.
Question 11 for 64,000. For what reason did Professor Robert...
Oh, there we
I'm
go.
not doing these sound effects. I've got
I
no
can
idea.
put the ukulele away.
For what reason did Professor Robert Kelly gain internet fame in 2017? Mistaken identity on the news. Chasing after his dog. Kids gatecrashed an interview. Trying to catch a bat.
C.
It's the kids in the interview.
Isn't it the...
Yeah. C is what I thought it was.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, because there's been a Twitter
Yeah.
advert thing recently with him recreating it.
Are we going for C then?
Yep.
Okay. Final answer? Has anyone got it? I'm waiting for a sound effect.
Is that from a new album? I
No,
don't have it.
I put the ukulele down.
Hang on, I have got one. Hang on.
Blimey, that's also the right sound effect. It is the correct answer.
Hey.
hey.
So that is question 11 for 64, wasn't it? Well done. Question 12 for 125. According to the highway code, what shape is the standard sign given the order to stop? Pentagon, hexagon, heptagon,
It's
octagon.
definitely octagon. So I remember this coming up.
Oh, God.
I remember this coming up on Millionaire being a £32,000 question. And everyone going, "What? That's 32,000?"
And Parkinson got it wrong, or he wasn't sure about it either. But it's octagon, yeah.
It is indeed octagon. Yep.
Hey.
One of
Right
these
one.
shapes is easy to make.
Eight-sided gone.
It moved around after I clicked it.
Question 13 for 250. Who wrote the opera The Thieving Magpie? Rossini, Verdi,
Oh.
Donizetti,
The
Puccini.
audio's confusing.
I don't know. My gut says Puccini, but I don't know.
No idea.
Well, I think you're all going to be working away on this one, if I'm not mistaken.
I thought it was Rossini.
Are you £109,000 sure?
Good maths.
Well, I'm pretty sure it's not Verdi or Donizetti. I thought I'm not brilliant at classical, but I mean, like, this is sort of standard Only Connect territory, and I'm sure we've had it on Only Connect at least once. I'm like 70-80% sure it's Rossini.
Let's go for it.
Are you going to go for it?
Is it? Unless somebody else, I think I'm confident enough to go for it. Unless somebody else wants to shout me down and say,
If someone says final answer, I'm taking
Final
it.
answer.
There you go. I knew someone would.
It's not real money.
Oh,
It's not.
David. It's the correct answer.
Hey!
Question number 14 for 500,000 is: which of these is a breed of spaniel? King James, King John, King Charles, King George.
Pretty sure it's a King Charles.
King Charles Spaniel, yeah. Although, and when King James first came up, I thought it was that, but yeah, so others came up as well. Yeah, but yeah, King Charles Spaniel, yeah, it's been because of it's been a look like his hair, isn't it? Yeah. See, please, final answer.
Correct.
Yay!
Million. We're going for the million and the question, which may or may not be worth £1 million in its actual level. A character named Ralph is elected leader of a group of boys at the beginning of which book? Lord of the Flies, A Clockwork Orange, Jungle Book, Brave New World.
Immediately I was thinking Lord of the Flies. Now Clockwork Orange came up, and now I'm doubting myself. I've seen the film years ago.
Isn't Ralph the nickname of Piggy or something like that anyway? But or is Piggy a different character? But anyway, I'm pretty sure it's A.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say Lord of the Flies.
There's no gang in the others particularly. Well, there sort of isn't Clockwork Orange,
that's all
but
through me. But yeah.
Yeah, but I can't speak for the book. In the film, it's already established as leader.
yeah, but they're not boys in Clockwork Orange. They're sort of youth, sort of teens, 20 somethings. They're not boys. So, and I'm pretty sure Ralph is in Lord of the Flies. So, should we go for A?
Yeah, I think so.
Yep.
Final answer, please. A.
Come on, Dan, give us $1 million.
Your safety net is at £16,000. You're walking away with $1 million.
Yay!
Well, that was an easy job.
Well done, everyone.
I think that's about 128,500.
100,000
so,
each,
yeah, something
yeah.
like that. Pretty good.
It's not terrible. So when we get to the next ad break, because we're currently in the middle of a music break, but when we get to the next ad break, we'll take those 15 questions and you can try and put each of them to their respected values. And the way it'll work is I'll give you 3 points if you get them spot on, 2 points if you're 1 out, 1 point if you're 2 out. So you could get 45 points. You're aiming to get as many as possible.
Fun game.
Can we just have a quick recap of the ones that I missed out on?
No.
Okay.
Of course you can. All 15 questions will appear on screen because you'll need to look at them all at the same time. So don't worry about that. But,
Right.
you won't be doing it blind. You'll be fine.
Ooh.
Well, I would imagine so. Yeah. Right.
There's a very good version of Company on YouTube, actually. I've watched recently. It's quite minimalist, but it's very well acted.
When
Is Company the one with one as one of the songs?
No, but there are 2 or 3 sort of songs you'll go, oh yeah, this is where it's from, and you won't realise it's from that musical. There's a quite a famous song about drinking and there's quite a famous song which is done extraordinarily fast by a bride that doesn't want to get married. It's worth the price of entry just for that.
Right.
I am now displaying to all
Are
of
you
you.
ready? You can close your trousers, please. Thank you. Okay.
These are the 15 questions that were in the stack. There is one question from £100 all the way up to £1 million. Can you put them in order? I'll give you 3 points for every one that you put in its exactly right place. I'll give you 2 points if it's 1 out, 1 point if it's 2 out. So it's possible 45 points. Go for it.
Okay, do you have to do this in numerical order?
No. Once you've locked it all in, then I'll reveal
Okay,
everything.
well, the early questions are normally ones, are very obvious sort of jokey answers. So something like question 3.
Yeah.
Question
10.
10.
Those are
10 is easy.
likely to be very early on. Spaniel likely to be around 1,000, maybe 500.
These you would be probably the Star Wars question probably also is.
Yeah.
Question 9 is probably fairly early as
I
well.
think that'll be early.
Yeah.
That'll be like a £500
I
one,
think
I think.
I think I'll go so far as to say question 3 will be the £100 one.
Yes, I think that's...
because the wrong answers aren't plausible wrong
they're
answers,
ridiculous wrong answers.
in any way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's
Okay,
fair.
I'll put that as 100.
Shall we just look like, because it's going to be mind-boggling. Let's try and do it in 5s. Okay. So of the others that we think are part of that 5, which is the Spaniel, the bed,
Star Wars.
the Star Wars, and the
What the 5th one is gonna? So what did you think? Sorry.
Probably fine.
Robert Kelly might be a £1,000 question.
I think that's more like 2 or 4.
Yeah.
Great
North Run, possibly.
Where's that? Oh, there.
That strikes me as
That's
a cusp question. It could be, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Let's just try a few things. Yeah. So, what about 14 being 300?
Okay, I'm with that. That seems fair.
Yeah.
And 9 being 500.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm struggling to
10,
find the
10 is a
200.
joke question,
I'd say 10.
so I'll put that for 200.
Yeah.
Although,
yeah,
they're joke answers, but it actually requires some knowledge. So actually, maybe put that 500 and shift everything down one.
No, put that at 5. Put that at 500. Yeah.
Yeah.
Put the 9 at what?
1,000.
The 9
or 300.
9 at, put the 9 at 200, I think.
Okay.
And then the 1,000 must be a sensible one.
I would actually put the Daisy Ridley at 200 because
we can fine tune later.
Fair enough.
I mean, I think Robert. So it was 1,000 somewhere between Robert Kelly, Great North Run.
What about the flag question?
I think the thing about the Robert Kelly question is they are all things that went viral, so the wrong answers are good to confuse you. So I suspect it might be a bit higher than 1,000.
Fair enough. That's well worked out.
Okay, you've taken a look at the low. Why don't you try and take a look at what you think the hardest are?
So we're looking at mythology.
Can we
Sorry, go on.
Can we just put 1 as 1,000 just for the now?
Yeah. Which one do you want?
What number 1 is 1,000 just for now?
Okay.
Okay. Now.
Okay, so you look at the top 5. Medusa is definitely going to be there, I think. The Academy Awards. Batrachian.
Yeah.
I think the Great Wave is pretty tough.
And the thing is, I know that the highway code sign was a 32,000 question, so because I remember having a big argument on Twitter about it.
But was it a £32,000 question in the
Well,
Independent?
that's the question.
Was it the Indie?
Yeah.
I think, just to help you with that, quite a few of these questions are just taken from the show.
Yeah.
I don't think they all are, but I think some of them are.
Well, I don't think that should have been a 32,000.
No, absolutely. For me, that's no more than 4,000. But
yeah, but let's say it is.
yeah.
So lock in 2032 for 12, and let's work out anything above that that's harder than that.
Yeah. So Academy Awards, I think you're looking at $250,000, maybe $500,000.
Yeah.
Mythology, that was the Pegasus one. That was a trick question in a way, but it's definitely, it feels like one of the top end questions. I don't think it's $1 million.
I think the thing about the mythology question is it's very, very tempting to pick Hydra.
Yeah, it's a good wrong answer, a very, very plausible wrong answer. So possibly 64, maybe 125.
Yeah, I think so.
I think I'd go a little higher.
Really?
Not massively.
You think we'd put the op?
Sorry?
See, I don't think although it's the hardest one, I don't think Batration is the £1 million one.
No, I don't think it would be either.
What about the Great Wave? I mean, the thing is about the Great Wave. I mean, what was the answer to that one?
Fuji.
I mean, it seems like
it's like Sinai's obviously in the Middle East, and
I mean, for me, that's it's probably around 16,000, maybe 8,000. I think our gut feeling was all Fuji.
Yeah, and it's one you could possibly deduce a bit by the question.
Yeah.
Hokusai sounds
Japanese,
Fuji is Japanese. Go for it.
Right. Have we got one? Hang on. Have we got 5 more that are harder than Highway Code that we're happy with?
Well, I think
so. Mythology,
Academy Awards. So question 2, question 7,
question
8.
Oh, and Thieving Magpie. I think probably.
Yeah.
And
so
possibly
that's
question
only
15.
4. No. 15.
Okay.
That's to me.
Oh
that,
no!
to me, that's
the answer,
16,
some of the answers there too easy. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah.
A brace new word because I mistyped it.
So I think Hokusai has to be in there then.
I think it has to be in there. I think it'll be earlier. Well,
right. So you think that? So let's put that in as 64, right?
Which one? Sorry, Hokusai.
Number 5, Hokusai.
Okay.
Did we count Thieving Magpie as one of those, or that was 16?
no, I thought Hokusai was 16. I think Thieving Magpie would be 64 because it's so classic. Because it's classical, it's generally higher up. That would be my.
Oh, right. Yeah, really?
Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought that.
I mean, I'm hardly an opera expert by any means, but I hadn't heard of the Thieving Magpie, which may just be my subject. But if it's a less common opera,
well, it is. I mean, it's the thing is, like, if you go into the street and you say to people, "Have you heard of Rossini, Verdi, Donizetti, Puccini?" They'll say, "Yes, yes."
Well,
yes,
I say I've heard of Rossini,
if you say,
Verdi,
"Do you know
Puccini,
where?"
I've not heard of Donizetti.
Well, yeah, if you're uncultured, that's not my fault. If you go into the if you go into the street and say, "Where is am I Kailash and Sinai?" I'm not sure they would necessarily.
Right. Let's start putting some numbers in.
Right. Just stick something in. Right. Let's say.
Actually, I think question 7. Actually, might be £1 million question.
Yes. It just strikes me as like the kind of thing which is like the £1 million question.
So, well, the first win 2 Academy Awards, that makes it much more difficult than just winning 1 Academy Award. So
right, in that case, I would definitely put 2 as quarter of a million, 25,000, 250,000.
Yep.
Number 2, and 500,000 for 8.
Yep.
We haven't covered 125,000.
Then the bidding magpie is 125.
Could be. I wouldn't be too upset about that. I still think Great Wave's harder, but I mean, I think that's fine. I think that's pretty good.
Right, what have we not got? So we've got 4 spaces, and we've got the 2, 4, 8, and £16,000 questions.
Well, I would say 11 is 2.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I go with that.
I think it should be pretty early. Yeah.
Probably 4. Is 4 4?
I reckon 4's probably 8.
Can I just? I think 6 is easier than we're considering.
Yes, it is. I think.
Regarded
That could be
we're
4,000
considering.
possibly.
It could even be in the first
It
5,
could in
frankly.
theory.
Yeah, it could possibly be the 1,000 actually, as well.
That would leave 15 as 16.
16,000.
So I'm going to put that
Alright.
in. You can tweedle things around if you want.
I have to say, it's an interesting game.
So what about if we swapped? If we swap 1 and 6, are people happy with that?
1 and 6.
Okay. As it, given that question 6 has answers that are clearly wrong, that would make sense to go in the first 5. So I'm good for that.
Now, would you swap 1 and 11 or not?
11. I think I would, but I don't know how other people would feel.
I would put 11 fairly low, fairly early on, but
I'd swap 6 and 11.
The thing that bothers me, as I say, is that the answers on that are all things people will remember, and so that will confuse people.
So the way to do it now is to sort of compare each pair and see if there's like a whenever we think that the second question of the pair is easier, then we've gone wrong somewhere.
Yeah.
So Brendan and Carol, okay. Then we go to Tracy Emin. Then we go to King Charles Spaniel. Then we go to Daisy Ridley. Now, Daisy Ridley's options are funny, whereas the King Charles Spaniels aren't. So potentially that should be a swap.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a fair
Yeah.
point. Yes.
Swap
Should we
them?
do that or not?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, I think
I'd
we
be
will.
okay with the swap.
They're doing backwards
So,
words, by the
tennis
way,
free
on Rab right now.
Okay.
Well, we
is
can't really
is it
play
spelling?
No, it's you get a
Go
list of
back-
words, you have to recite them backwards.
Yes.
It's like a mental, it's Crypto Factor style mental agility.
The apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
Yes. She can't do it while it sings.
I'll just treat this as Reichard Hausmann's House of Unspieler.
oh, we can see the stream on the stream.
That's alright, I've just stopped it.
It's all right. Back.
Thanks,
David.
Oh, right, it's timed.
Yeah.
Yes,
Not just
however,
correct.
it's hard to get the point.
Right. Then Robert Burns.
Headphones are for the trailing wire.
I mean, that's quite easy, isn't it? I think the Robert Burns one's a touch high.
Yes, I think you're possibly right. But enjoy stop that at 500.
Yeah. Can we do that, please, Dan? I think
Yeah.
that's. Yeah. $12,000. Okay. So Breeder
wondering if-
Spaniel goes to Robert Kelly, which then goes to Great North Run. I think that's not too bad. I mean, I think the two and the 4 could be swapped, but we can't tell. 4 then goes to 8, which is countries does not feature 3 horses. I mean, Russia's flag's pretty obvious, but I mean, we haven't got any easier things to put that in. So that's probably right. So 8 then goes to Ralph, which then goes to Stop Sign, which goes to Great Wave, which goes to Thieving Magpie, which goes to Mythology, which goes to Battery, and then goes to. I'm not sure about that Academy Awards one.
I think if it was just who won, who was first to win one, then yes. But as it's first to win two, that's much more difficult.
The only thing that does flag up is Oliver Stone is a very tempting answer because he's such an award-baiting director. The only thing is also Francis Ford Coppola is. I think it would be easy to discount Spielberg and Eastwood from that. It's whether you can easily differentiate between Stone and Coppola. I think possibly Batrachian, there's not an easy into that question that I can see.
But it doesn't feel like £1 million question. Do you know what I mean?
No, it doesn't.
Yes, you're right. You're right.
I don't know. I mean, I think I think we've done quite well. I think, you know, it's all judgment, isn't it? If it was me, I would just swap to seven. I would be tempted to swap 7 and 8, but I mean, like, you know, I can potentially see 7 being familiar because, you know, there is a lot of money on the line, and sometimes they do put a slightly easier one at the very end to sort of tempt people into gambling. So I'm happy with that. But if anyone wants to make any swaps, then speak now.
I mean, I think that's pretty good.
I think that's pretty good.
I will lock it in.
Dan.
Okay.
I'm actually curious. Oh, go on. Sorry.
When we get to the next break, I will reveal all. Okay, so I will now reveal how you did. I can reveal you didn't get a full house, but let's see how you actually did. Question 1, the annual half marathon, the Great North Run. You said £4,000. It's actually a £2,000 question.
Okay,
so you're in the right
understand
ballpark.
that,
Yeah, 2 points for that because you're
We were
one.
discussing about whether to swap 1 and 11, weren't we? So I wonder if we should have. We'll see.
Let's see.
Question 2, you put this in a 5. Which creature sprang from the blood of Medusa? That is a £125,000 question. You had it 250, so again, 1 away. Yeah. Brendan O'Carroll played the title character in which sitcom? You had it as the easiest. That is indeed correct. Full marks. The national flag of which of these countries does not feature 3 horizontal stripes? You put 8 to £1,000. It is in fact a £64,000 question.
Wow.
Can't give you any points for that one.
Yeah.
I guess maybe it's knowledge. You need to know 4 things.
Yeah, because they are all stripy flags.
Exactly.
Well, okay. True.
At most
True.
one thing, or at least one thing.
They're not obscure flags.
That's great. Yeah.
Romania isn't a particularly obvious.
And Hungary isn't.
But anyway, 64. Hokusai's The Great Wave. Well, we know it can't be exactly on. The answer to this one is £16,000. I think because it sounds Japanese and Fuji's in Japan. I think they were going along that.
Never mind.
So I'll give you 1 point for that. According to Robert Burns, which food is the Great Chieftain? That is a £300 question. Okay. So you're 1 away. Give you 2 points for that. That's good. Which of these men? You put this as the £1 million question. It's not the £1 million question. It is in fact the £250,000 question.
That feels like a million.
So you're 2 away there. So I'll give you 1 point for that. Batrachian. That is the £1 million question. You had it as.
That doesn't feel like a £1 million question at all.
What do you mean by feel like a £1 million question?
It's the wording of it. It's normally something more exacting.
Interesting.
Or interesting, yeah.
I mean, you still want to waste. That's good, but not spot on. Which of these is a famous artwork by Tracy Emin? That's actually a £1,000 question. Yeah. I think because it's a factual question rather than an idiom. You know. So no points for that. You're 3 away there. The name of the character, placed by Daisy Ridley, £500. Yeah, you're very close to that. So definitely first 5 in about the right place.
Hang on, just stop a moment.
Mm-hmm.
So we haven't accounted for the £200 question yet.
We have. We put that.
That's probably
Spaniels,
didn't we?
No, I mean that we haven't seen the correct.
Oh no, yes, sure, yeah.
Well, maybe that's question 14. You know.
Yeah, it must be. I guess
it's question 13. Weird.
Question 11. What reason did Professor Robert Kelly gain internet fame? 4,000. I think you're right. I think because they're all plausible answers, that bumped it up a little bit.
We were going to change one in 11 as well.
We talked about it, yeah, but I mean, one away each way is not too bad.
Yeah, you got
And
more
6
points.
and 10.
Question 13. Who wrote the Thieving Magpie? That is sorry, the Highway Code. You remembered this, Nick. It was 30,000 question, and I completely agree.
Controversial at the time, frankly.
It's 4, maybe 8. I'd guess 4 at most for that question, to be honest. Yeah, there was uproar at the time, and I'm very disappointed you remembered it. Question 13. Who wrote the opera The Thieving Magpie? That's the £500,000 question.
Interesting.
Which I think surprised David. I think.
I don't think it's high. I think it would be higher. I didn't think it was high as that.
Well, you see, that's a question you can know outright, whereas I don't think you would know this question 7 outright. I think 13 is definitely easier than 7.
Yeah.
I suppose 7 is something they would have spoken about at the time as, oh, he's done it for the first time. So it's something that would have been flagged up rather than a stat that is not acknowledged at all.
Which of these is a breed of spaniel? That's £200, and Ralph is elected leader as an £8,000 question. So you're all in the right ballpark.
Yeah.
But only 2 of them are exactly correct, and one of them was because Nick knew it.
Yeah.
But you scored points for most of them. There are only 3 that you had way off.
Yeah.
So out of 45 points, I can reveal that you scored. Oh, you scored. Oh, doing it the wrong way. Okay, you scored 23 out of 45 points there, which is better than it sounds. In my opinion.
It is, but also
I'm pleased with that.
I also think if I took those questions from the very first series of Millionaire, I thought the difficulty for that first series was, frankly, a bit weird. So I personally think our version is better than Cellophane Media's. So there you go. That was a really interesting exercise. So I'm looking forward to seeing that later.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. It is fun, and I've got lots of sets that we can do that with another time.
The difficulty thing is also quite something which unnerves me a lot here in Germany.
Yeah.
Like there was a £1 million question, which was like, how many parts does a Rubik's Cube consist of for €1 million? And it's like basically 3 cubic minus 1, because it's like the middle one, which is like left out because you need to like move it, and like needed to be held to the right answer. And I was like, how is this like the £1 million euro question? But
the middle one's a single piece that goes out to all the edges.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes. So you need to subtract the middle cubes.
26.
No. The central cube of each face never moves.
But it's
shaped like a jack or a
Yeah. It's like the middle one isn't like a cube, but like the others are cubes.
One in the
like,
very center of a cube is not a cube, basically.
Yeah,
it's just one.
It's an axis. I think the way they put it is the other pieces are called cubies. So I think there are 26 cubies in a cube. But
yeah, and they asked how many cubies there are in it. But
otherwise, the answer would be 20.
I think 20 was one of the other answers. So
cruel.
But I thought like at first sight it's pretty obvious. So I thought like, wait,
it's 3 cubed minus 1. Yes, it is not difficult.